Well, here we are again. Now before you comment down below or even worse skip this video entirely, I just want to apologize if part 1 was mid. Okay, I admit it was pretty mid and my rankings did spur up some juicy conversations across the community. But now, just like Endgame, it's time for my redemption arc. This was the #1 complaint from part 1, the lack of Boyoko, Yoyochi, or Botsuki. God, settle on a name already! I didn't include them because she only appeared for a few seconds in episode 10. However, I guess we can work with what we have from that scene. Simply basing from this very scene, I can tell that their dynamic might be the most interesting when we get to season 2. Hopefully. While Bocchi's chemistry with the members of Keisugaban is great, their relationships are mostly friendly, with no significant conflicts. The closest thing to conflict Bocchi had was with Seika, who is peak tsundere, not as big as Nino Nakano. So to see a potential quote-unquote rival and someone who is also a tsundere but in the same age as Bocchi would be a blast to see animated. I am at this point speculating, but I can't wait to see them on screen. I could easily place them on either A or S tier because the arts featuring them are cute AF, plus it's canon according to Akihamaji. Should have been Bonichi. But given the fact that a tsundere and a socially anxious dynamic is yet to be fully tested, the best I can do is barely A tier or even B tier. Okay, maybe I can't redeem myself with this one. Some have dubbed this as the only legitimate ship of the entire show. And good news! I see this couple to be solid and stable. From the short screen time they have from the entire show, I can sense that they are a couple who rarely fights and work together. There are also instances where they act as a comedic duo, partnering in delivering a gag and making sequences more wholesome and entertaining. Based on the evidence of Hitori and Futari, they are supportive parents who have raised their children in a nurturing environment where they're free to be themselves and pursue their dreams. Although Bocchi's social anxiety might suggest a failure in how they handle this aspect of her upbringing. That topic though is beyond the scope of this video. So overall, they are solid, legitimate, and the best ship of the entire show. S tier. Oh, come on! F tier. Next up is Hiroshima. Not the place, but the ship between Sick Hack's drummer Shima Iwashita and our beloved drunkard Kikuri. Just like Ryuo and Nijika, it is common knowledge that the bassist and drummer should be gay for each other. And boy oh boy, I stumbled upon a handful of fan manga on Pixiv regarding this pair. And with Shima only appearing in episode 10, I see the potential. Yeah, I know there's the spin-off Kikuri manga series, but remember my basis is that of an anime only, which the majority of you guys are. With that said, the ship is either an A or S tier, but for the sake of spreading out this definitely not controversial list, we're going to place them in A tier. The warmth of this forbidden sanctuary, isolating her face from the peering eyes of the world. She runs to it at any opportunity to feel the comfort of its brown color and smooth cardboard texture. Box-chan, you're too close sometimes, she whispered to the inanimate object, feeling a sense of comfort inside a claustrophobic space. Her heavy breaths, loud and audible. She doesn't mind hearing herself. In fact, she feels excited with every breath and the silent strumming of her Gibson Les Paul. It feels nice. I wish we can be together, Box-chan. You're my safe place, my secret love. The atmosphere of your warm embrace calms my turbulent heart. I wish you could say something. I want to hear a soothing calm voice from you. But the box could not say a word. It is getting worn out with each use of hers. Soon, it would one day be replaced by another when its structure loses rigidity. Alas, the manga box could only hope that their time together will last a little longer. A forbidden love of a schoolgirl and an inanimate. Okay, what did I just wrote? But yeah, Bocchi and this cardboard box are a match made in heaven. Everything about their potential relationship just works. I can see them together forever. Okay, let's quickly estimate this because people think I'm insane. This is quite interesting. Kikuri's relationship with the manager of Fault, Gin-chan, has a similar vibe to her relationship with another particular manager, Seika. The only main differences are the wider age gaps and one being a heterosexual relationship. But it's the same throughout. Kikuri is a hopeless menace, breaking equipment and being too overbearing for the managers. They could work if the stars perfectly align, but I still feel her relationship with Seika is stronger due to their past and the fact that Seika changed Kikuri's life. Pretty cool, win! So I'm gonna go with B tier. Wait, what? From my previous video, a few have also hinted that thankfully, PA-san gets more explored in the manga beyond season 1. That's a relief as I feel bad constantly placing our ships in F tier. Oh, this is also F tier. Season 1! May Maybe I shouldn't search my name in Discord servers and even Reddit. But I would say this poly relationship works better than polyhexical. When it's the three of them on screen, I can sense that they have fantastic chemistry as a trio where each of their unique quirks and traits complement and sync with one another. And I must add, when trying to find individual arts, for example Seika, a big portion involves having Spie-san and Kikuri as well. So there's strong support for this relationship. In that case, I won't be too harsh on this one and give it a wonderful B tier. Ryuo Yamada. It's both bizarre and amazing that an innocent joke of her eating grass has turned her into the memester and 420 boss lady who smokes weeds every day. However, if we are real for a moment, her constantly consuming or eating grass might not be good for her in the long run. Strictly eating one kind of plant every day might not support her body's dietary needs, and not to mention the fact of its highly addictive nature. I mean, that's her default food whenever she goes broke. If I'm crazy enough, I could tackle this in her upcoming character analysis on September 18th. If you want to see that, then you better smoke the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss it. But back to Ryuo and grass. There's no doubt they're compatible, and S tier seems like the best choice. However, this is definitely a toxic S tier relationship, with grass ultimately coming out on top. Well, you're also F tier. Though I feel these two have more in stake as Nijika and Seike are siblings, meaning she might have more interactions together compared to the rest of Kesukuban. Who knows? Some lunatic might cook a cursed fanfic involving these two. Oh dang it, why did I give them an idea? So someone in Reddit suggested Kita with her friends at school. This is quite similar to Bocchi and her fans.
Psst, Nirika! When the lyrics coming, ban Bocchi?
Soon, trademark. For what little evidence we have, it seems they have the usual high school girls group relationship where they talk about makeup, who's the hottest guy in class, and oh my god, napaka-cute niya! But that's that. As I've stated in the Kita character analysis video, nothing real and vulnerable happens between her and her school friends. Maybe her relationship with them could go more in the future. Who knows? Really. Thus, we're going to place this ship in D tier. This is just copium for us in real life people who still can't get a partner when you're already 35 years old. But let's see which girl works best for you. Time to speedrun this. Kira, A tier. She requires a specific type of guy that can handle her outgoing personality. For the average anime consumer, they'll just turn into dust. Bocchi, A tier. Similar to Kita, she requires a specific type of person. But overall, she's more compatible with the audience. You just need to constantly put her together if you bring her to many situations that may overwhelm her. Ryuo, A tier. You could go along with her, and maybe your type is a girl that has the vibes of someone who is gender fluid. It's just, your wallet might say F tier. Nijika, S tier. She's the ideal girlfriend or wife. She honestly can work with either outgoing or introverted people. She's also the most desired of the fandom. Basically, wife material. Seika, S tier. She's also wife material, but the addition of being a tsundere is basically the same as Nijika, but she's a mommy. Kikuri, A tier. If you're the type of person to say, I can fix her, you know you're persistent and you don't easily give up, she can work for you. And also you can tolerate the smell of alcohol and someone who hasn't showered for days. Bie-san, S tier. Goth woman, she has the looks, the vibe, and the aura. She activates neurons in your brain, and I feel she's the adventurous type. She's in essence the most mommy character in the entire show despite rarely appearing. Oh dear. The most infamous match seen from the show. This is a reminder to anyone who might consider drinking happy juice or is currently drinking as you're watching this video to drink responsibly. Whether we like or hate it, Kikuri and Chip Sake have become synonymous with one another. If we are to take the alcohol off from Kikuri, she's going to be Bocchi and potentially even worse. The mass appeal for Kikuri is her drunkenness and of being a comedic relief side character. But of course, any sane person would realize that she also represents the harsh realities of someone addicted to alcohol. She low-key has one tough liver to not have complications already after drinking for years. Hopefully Kikuri one day breaks free from this cycle. But back to the list. Their ship is, let's say, A tier. What? No, not again! Together, side by side, attached to her beautiful hair, completing the image of the protagonist. So iconic, so majestic. They spend all their days caressing each other and holding one another. Despite the stresses of constant movement, despite the burden of sweat and natural elements, they cling on to each other. Their bond so strong and might, no modern relationship can ever try. To blue and to yellow, may you stay together for eternity. Okay, maybe I should stop cooking and making fanfiction involving inanimate objects. But yes, the blue and yellow cube found in Bocchi's Ahoge are indeed a perfect match and thus S tier. Oh, this might not work out at all. Why? Well, hate to break it to you, but Kikuri is at the point of no return when it comes to her toxic cycle with alcohol that no amount of therapy sessions would help her out of this mess. If she were to take therapy, I believe she would there for a very, and I mean very long time. The girl is constantly broke and already using the Ichizi sister's shower. The last thing she needs is to spend even more money on therapy. If she were to attend a therapy session, she likely wouldn't survive opening up about her dark past and regrets. It would be extremely difficult for both her and the therapist. Who knows, maybe she already considered seeking professional help, but then decided that she could just drink her sorrows away, thus leading to where she is right now. So despite me wanting better for her, I think therapy is not a proper solution. E tier.
Woohoo! My oh my! What do we have here, dear viewer? Is this character not of this world but of a different universe? Why are we talking about us? Nirika?
Miss Furina, I do apologize for dragging your presence to make a cameo in this video. It is because this certain comment inspired yours truly to discuss the brilliance of our relationship. Maybe I shouldn't be either Farina or Monsoon Villette, but it's time to be insane again and defend why I'm a perfect match for Farina de Fontaine.
But in the last video, you talk about...
Silence! Farina is my one true love in this universe! While in my previous video I just dropped some points without further elaborating, in this one I will semi-break down on a few key highlights on our compatibility. The first and obvious point is our same interest in the arts. A fun fact about myself is that I am an art student majoring in film and video production. Even before the creation of this channel, I was already obsessed when it came to making videos, particularly behind the scenes work like video editing. Farina on the other hand is a natural artist who pretty much fooled an entire nation with her acting for 500 years. Oh wait, that's spoiler, sorry. Currently, she's both an actress and a director, the dream position I wish to become if being a Dorito YouTuber isn't meant for me in the long run. Hopefully not. Aside from that, our way of thinking and personalities are both similar and complementary to one another. I am a sucker for the variety exterior and soft interior of Farina's character, and I love both sides of her. I am quite confident that if I were to go on a proper date with Lady Farina, it could be the best date we could ever experience in our lives. Also, she's roughly my height. There's a lot more to dissect and unravel on why I fell in love and connected with the character of Farina de Fontaine that might be a possible video in the future. But here's the one point to settle it all. I can bake cakes. And not just any cake. Oh boy, you have no idea just how peak my mother's recipe is. And the fact that I can bake my mother's recipe is already enough for a reason why Farina will fall for me. Because all it takes is a slice of cake to make her smile across all the seas of Tevat and beyond. So Farina, hit me up if you wanna try this cake. So without further ado, me and her are an SS tier. Kikuri without alcohol equals Bocchi, but worse. That's the simplest way to describe the ship of raw, authentic Kikuri. Using only the evidence from sick hacks I'm the only ghost, you can tell how much she wants to not think of the real thoughts by just partying and ruining her liver. And not just her past regrets. In episode 6, while describing the happiness cycle, she also thinks of the economic and societal state of Japan and beyond. From here, we can deduce that our beloved drunkard cares a whole lot, maybe a bit too much. So to have her sober is to have someone constantly depressed, in a state of despair, and constantly anxious. But it's also slim hope that with the right people she trusts most, she could break free from this never-ending spiral and live her life contentedly as her true self. A Bocchi whom she identifies with can live on her own despite battling anxiety, then Kikuri absolutely can too. Hence why this ship is in the middle, C tier. Again, no more dog and human relationships! Every day we stray further from God. Last on this list is the holy and crunchy pairing of Doritos and Nijika. It's safe to say that this pair are made for each other. It has become common knowledge at this point that if one thinks of Doritos, one also thinks of Nijika. But what if I told you there's more to the hanging ahogi above the paragon of human virtue? It's more than just a small detail adding character and personality to Nijika. This Dorito is secretly something that will blow your mind.